So here's our current living situation. It's a 8x20, the back of a box truck that's been removed from the box truck. Kind of a mess around here because it's still a work in progress. We dragged it over here on a log sled. We found some thick-ish pieces of metal and we heated them up and bent them and quenched them so that they would be maintain the right shape, and they actually held up really well. They ended up all twisted up and destroyed, but they mostly made it here. And yeah, it's just strapped down to a log sled. There's a log there as a cross beam and a log there as a cross beam. And then on this side, same deal. There's no wheels under this. And we dragged it probably about a mile. It took us probably between 4 and 8 hours, somewhere in there, I don't know exactly, to move it a mile that way because it kept falling off the sled, or mostly the sled kept falling apart. Parts of it would move or it would get stuck in the ditch or something, and so we kept having to mess with it. That's the composting toilet. It's just a bucket. It's a sawdust toilet, really. It's a bucket that's full of sawdust, which is from the mill. I just gathered it off the ground next to the sawmill, and that's how we deal with our waste. There's a tripod for making videos. There's lots of hooks in this thing since it was a box truck. They help us, hang stuff up. I just did fireproof expanding foam to fill in this gap, which I didn't do a very good job. I made a mess with it, but I'll clean it up after it kind of dries up and I can scrape it off. The stovepipe is, I think altogether, the only new piece is that one, and the cap. Everything else was already around here. I found it in the same place as this container. This container was a freebie. It was kind of a work trade. I basically promised to clean up the property a little bit in exchange for the container. And this stove was also a freebie. All the stovepipe came along with the container. That double wall piece came with the container. These big chunks of metal here came with the container. Let's see. This stove is way too big for this space. It's a 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot roughly, which is gigantic for 8x20. It had these shelves in it, and so we've used them. We have the crates in here. A lot of the crates' purpose right now is just to keep the dogs under control because we've got the roll-up door still, and so it's hard in the morning to get one dog out at a time. We've got our little kitchen set up. This was $3 at the garage sale, this little Coleman propane stove. I've got the hose and adapter to hook it up to a bigger tank, but I'm just using a small tank right now for convenience, but we do have a bigger tank with a hose on it. And then we've got kind of a little sink set up under here. You just press that button, aim it towards this basin, and dump that basin out. Got a computer in here, got internet, electricity, everything. This window, I need to finish it better. I need to grind these down and grind down the edges here. This is actually just taped around the edges, but it's screwed in. So it's screwed in there. I want to add some wood behind it to help strengthen, have kind of a frame around it. It's just an old cheap aluminum window. And I just taped around the edges for now because when I put it in, I didn't have caulk. I bought some caulk. So I'm going to take that back out, clean up the edges, caulk it, and put it back in. But that's kind of vital. You got to have a window, especially when you're running a wood stove. It gets hot in there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's Caitlin. It's pretty comfy in there. It stays hot. It's been in the 50s and 40s at night here, and it stayed pretty comfy. But you know, that's just with the wood stove going. That wood stove is so big we can load it up with fuel and damper it down. And dampered down as low as it'll go, it still keeps the thing uncomfortably warm, so it should be good for winter. We'll probably try to insulate it somehow. We've got this thing full of crap, and then the wall tent is in there. You can see it back here. This is the previous setup. We're kind of in the process of moving out of this tent so we can tear it down. This was the whole melted stove jack situation. So get a stove jack, very important. But that stove works all right. Yeah, to show you some other little things around here. This is the repeater for the Wi-Fi. So this connects to Wi-Fi across the road, which is itself a repeater, and then that connects to Wi-Fi in the house across the road. So it's 3 hops to get here. It works pretty well. Overall, we've got a pretty good deal going on here. Today's the day I'd like to try and get the wall built for the outside here. So I want to try to take down this this roll-up door and put a wall there with some windows, or a window and a door. So that's kind of the overall plan. Got windows and doors over here. Let's show you those. Go for a little walk, along with some other odds and ends that I accumulated for the house. And I do apologize for doing so much off camera. I'm still in survival mode, and I haven't gotten accustomed to setting up for filming and then doing something. I need to probably learn camera angles better so I can set up a good angle for certain actions, because you know, there's some choreography that goes into making a really good quality video of things like this, and I haven't really gotten it down yet. But I think I'm learning. I just, you know, it's also difficult when you're in survival mode to actually focus on those sorts of things. So here's a window. I have 2 others like it here. They're all freebies. These were a little more, they were $25 a piece. These are vinyl windows, older ones, but they were taken out of a double wide. We're probably going to use those for the actual cabin. This is an old pellet stove here. We're probably not going to use that. There's an old thermoelectric cooler. Might use that for something. That's a propane fridge. Water barrel. Just some scrap odds and ends. I think we're doing pretty well right now. This is going to be the door that goes in to the I don't know what to call it, the temporary cabin, I guess, the elaborate survival shelter maybe. And we'll have a door. So yeah, obviously not a scripted video. Oh, somebody dropped off some bricks, it looks like. I don't know how we ended up with those. Maybe they've been here a while. But yeah, just kind of accumulating bits and pieces over winter and trying to get to where we're at least comfortable during winter, because it snows a lot here and the winters last a long time. So just trying to get prepared for that. Might migrate south. I don't think we plan on migrating south, but if we have to, we will. I think we're going to try to be well set up here for winter. You know, we've put a lot of effort into doing that, so you know, we're gonna make our best attempt at making it through winter here and see what happens. But yeah, I gotta get on with building this exterior wall so we can finally take down that roll-up door, so we can have a much more usable, functional man door and window to replace it. So, got to get on with it. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye now.